Okay, real talk today because I feel like we need to address the elephant in the room. So recently, you know how you will end up listening to either a podcast episode or even YouTube videos, and all of a sudden life gets in the way and you don't necessarily keep up with it, right? Well, anyway, I did this to this particular podcaster and I went back to listen to her episodes. And this is somebody who I have been listening to since, oh my goodness, probably like 2017. I truly respect her and I respect her business advice, and a lot of what she says I agree with. However, I went back to listen to some of her episodes and I was really frustrated with the fact that I could tell her episode scripts were totally written by AI. And I know that that might be an assumption. However, there are some giveaways. And also, if you've been listening to somebody for as long as I have, this person in particular, I could tell that subtle shift in her episodes where she was no longer actually writing and creating her content anymore. So I want to address this because as entrepreneurs, as moms, as people who are sharing our heart with other people in the form of business, I really hate to see us lose our voice to AI. I am all about using AI to help with brainstorming, to help with even the rough draft of the writing if you're just drawing a blank. But I want to go over today some surefire giveaways that AI wrote your stuff so that you can go in, reread your things, and rewrite it the way that you would actually say it so that it avoids sounding like AI and instead sounding like it came straight from your heart. So, let's get into this.
Welcome to AI for Mompreneurs. This podcast is for moms who are tired of doing everything the hard way. You're running a business, managing a home, caring for your children, and making a million decisions daily. Exhausted, overwhelmed, burned out, and out of time. Another planner won't fix it. More productivity hacks won't either. I know because I've been there. I'm Samantha Welch, a wife, a mom to 3 daughters, homeschooling my girls and my niece, running multiple businesses, and managing my 40-acre farm. I've burned myself out more times than I can count trying to do it all with excellence. The game changer, AI. When I learned how to use AI as my personal assistant, everything shifted. I finally had systems that worked, clarity in my business, and more time for what actually matters. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Learn how AI can take the mental load off your plate so you can focus on what truly matters most. No tech jargon or complicated setups here. Just AI that works for mamas just like us. Are you ready? Let's dive in.
I know that you have probably been like me. You've put an idea into AI, you've asked it to write like a social media post about it. It does, and you think, oh my goodness, this sounds so great. Like, this is even better than I would have thought to explain it. I'm going to keep that. So you go, you copy and paste, you post, and you move on. But I am sure that you can probably spot, as I can, AI from a mile away. There are certain phrasing, there is certain little personality tweaks, if you might say, that are just dead giveaways. Like I said, people who I respect are now losing their voice to AI. So I want to encourage that instead of just doing some sort of copy and paste, really read back over your work and make sure that it is from you. Now, I'm going to talk about things that I feel like are dead AI giveaways. However, I actually understand that some of us use some of these. And if you do, if you have been writing like that since 2013 or whatever, by all means, please keep writing the way you've been writing. If AI has stolen what was already yours, keep writing that way. But a lot of us don't write this way. A lot of us are a lot less formal. ChatGPT in particular is what I'm talking about, and it is a language model. So it's going to write in more of that proper form of language. It's going to use those certain words, and a lot of us are not that formal, or we would never use those kind of words in a million years. And actually, I do want to say here that if AI is giving a word, that's not necessarily an AI giveaway, but you would never say that in real life. Like, for example, I use the word awesome and perfect all the time, right? Everything's perfect, everything's awesome. I use those words all the time. I don't use a lot like words like, I would never say, oh, that's marvelous, or that's magical, or anything like that. So if I wouldn't naturally say those in conversations, those are words I want to nix out of any sort of copy that I allow AI to help me write. So if that makes sense. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about are symbols. Okay. If you've been around the AI block at all, you know the notorious M dash is AI. However, I do know, because I have met a couple people who write with M dashes. And if that is you, do not get rid of them. If you've been writing with an M dash since you've started, you keep writing with those. But a lot of us do not, and a lot of times that is a clear, dead giveaway for AI. AI is using that because it's technically correct. However, a lot of us, we don't use an M dash in that way. We don't have a thought and then M dash for a new thought. Usually we'll do a comma and we'll say, and this, and this. Or we'll say, and this thought, then this thought. We don't usually use an M dash. So it's a pretty good giveaway that it was written by AI. So get rid of the M dashes. I have not figured out a really good way to tell ChatGPT to stop using M dashes. It's pretty consistent on it. So I go in and I change it. I just take them out and then I would say it the way I usually would. So for example, it might be using something like, well, let me just read what it has written for me in the latest post. It says, here's a batch of Instagram plus thread posts pulled directly from your homepage rewrite, because I had done a website rewrite, right? It says, each one sounds like you. M dash, warm, clear, and relatable. M dash, with soft calls of action or head nodding moments for engagement. Okay, listen, that doesn't sound like me at all, right? Not at all. I would never be talking to you and be like, oh, hey, so I had this idea about this social media post, something that's warm, clear, and peaceful. And so I can't even talk like this because it's not even how I talk, right? Oh my goodness. So I'm not going to put that and use that on my social media content, newsletter, anything, because I want it to be that when you meet me in real life, I sound the exact same way that I sound on the internet. Okay, the next example is emojis. Oh my goodness, please stop using the emojis. If you wouldn't naturally go to your keyboard and click that emoji, please don't use it, okay? No one just intentionally goes and finds all of these random weird emojis. We just don't have time for that. So that's dead giveaway that AI wrote it. Now, there are emojis that I use consistently. If you receive a message from me and it has a yellow heart in it, heart eyes, a laughing face, or a smiling face, you can probably guarantee that I wrote that out. Those are the emojis I use all the time. Oh, and I also use the one where it's like the girl with her hand over her face. Like oh my goodness, right? I use those emojis all the time. All of my writing. I've been using those emojis since I've been texting, right? Well, probably not that long, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to continue to use those emojis, but I'm not going to go and find, I don't know, for example, the rocket ship emoji. That is so AI. I'm not going to go and find that. I'm not going to go and find like the stack of dollar bill emoji, or you get what I mean. I don't naturally use those emojis. Now, if those emojis are in your top emojis, go ahead and use them. Absolutely. But a lot of us, we don't use the emojis. So having all those emojis is like a dead giveaway that AI wrote that. And immediately, for me, it takes down the credibility because I'm like, they probably didn't read over it. But that's just how I think. And you guys know that I absolutely love AI, and I think it's an amazing tool. But even someone who uses it as much as I do, I find that I'm starting to almost roll my eyes subconsciously when I see something that's definitely written by AI. And emojis are a clear giveaway. Okay, let's talk about phrases. Oh my goodness. These phrases get me every single time. The first phrase is, here's the truth. But here's the truth. Here's the truth. If you say that, by all means, keep saying that. A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't just talk and we're like, so I was thinking about wearing the pink sweater, but here's the truth. The blue sweater actually looks better on me. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what you say. I would not. I would actually say, I was thinking about wearing the pink sweater, but I really think the blue sweater looks better on me. And that would be how I would talk. So that right there is definitely a dead giveaway. I would change that to anything, like just like I did in the example. Just literally, instead of being like, here's the truth, just be like, but here's what I think, right? Just something. Another phrase that gets me is the it's not this, it's that. So, oh my goodness. AI says this all the time. It's not this, it's that. It's not that you are this way, it's that this way. It's not that you need another system, it's that you need this. Like all the time, right? And again, if that's the way you talk, please talk like that. But a lot of times if I'm in public and I'm talking to a friend, I'm not going to say something like, it's not that your planner's not working for you. It's that you're overwhelmed. I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I would think I would be more, I know that I would say something more like, I don't think it's the planner's fault. I just think that you're probably overwhelmed. Right? It's just like a way more flowy, way more conversational instead of a, it's not this, it's this. Anyway, another one. Oh my goodness. You're not behind, you're just, and then fill in the blank. Like, okay, I didn't even realize I was behind in the first place. So, I mean, usually for me, I would actually say something like, hey, you may not feel like that you're where you should be, but that's okay because blah, 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 right? Something that just flows better. I would say one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to AI writing is that you're not lazy, you're just. Oh my goodness. Like, first off, I didn't even say I was lazy. Am I assuming that the people reading this are lazy? Like, it says this to me all the time. This is like one of the top suggestions that it gives me. You're not lazy, you're overwhelmed. You're not lazy, you just need to slow down. You're not lazy, you're just, I'm like, I didn't even say I was lazy to begin with. Right? I don't think I would go in real life to a person and say, hey, listen, you're not lazy, you're just this issue. I wouldn't do that because that would be me basically saying like, hey, so you probably think you're lazy, and they're like, I didn't even think I was lazy. Anyway, that's a huge one for me. Please don't say that one. A few other ones that are pretty dead giveaway is the phrasing, the result, the secret. I used to think this, but the truth is that. The best part? You're not broke. Oh my goodness. The you're not broken. You're just, that goes along with the you're not lazy. Like, you're not broken. Like, oh, okay. I'm not broken. Okay, interesting. Right? Or the it's not your fault. It's just, or the one that says you're not behind. You're just, anything like that. I don't really, now maybe you do. But I think for the majority of us, we don't usually go up to someone and start a sentence with, you're not behind, you're not lazy, you're not broken, and then finish it with, you're just whatever the issue is, right? I think we usually would be a little bit more sensitive to that in real life. And we would probably say, hey, I know that you're struggling with feeling like you're lazy, but I think the actual problem is that you're just really overwhelmed, and it makes it to where you don't want to finish the project or whatever. Obviously, your voice is so important in this. You want to make sure that you are speaking from your voice. There are actually so many more of these. I am going to put in the show description a free download of the top phrases, symbols, and words that I feel like scream AI and that I 100% recommend that you get rid of from your copy. Unless, if that's the way you speak, if you would come up to me in Walmart and you would be like, hey, you're not broken, you're just, then by all means, leave that in there because that's how you say it in real life. But if you wouldn't actually say that in real life, then I highly recommend that you edit it out so that what you say online, what you say in your newsletter, what you say in your podcast, what you say anywhere is the same thing you would say if I was sitting across from you with coffee and we were just chit-chatting. So yes, that is my 2 cents on how to write without sounding like AI. I actually meant to add it earlier in the episode, but this podcast episode idea came from a recent coaching podcast interview that I did with this sweet podcaster. I cannot wait for you guys to listen to this episode. It will actually probably be 2 different episodes because it was like an hour-long coaching that I did helping her utilize AI better, and I'm so excited about this. But literally we were talking about the phrasing and she said, you need to do a podcast episode on what not to say, and I was like, that is such a good idea. So I got up this morning, the ideas started flowing, and thus this episode. So shout out to Alyssa for an amazing idea. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys today, and until next time, go make AI work for you.
That's it for today's episode. I hope you learned something new or had a breakthrough. If you loved this episode, take a second to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It lets me know you're enjoying this content and helps more moms find it. And if you know another mama who's struggling with overwhelm and burnout, share this with her. Let's spread the word that AI isn't just for corporate executives or tech nerds, it's for moms like us. Until next time, go make AI work for you.